friends. Today I'm participating in the 10-minute craft dash at Pretty Pink Posh, and we are to feature stars on our card. I'm also going to be making this card for the Cards for a Cause at Split Coast Stampers, and the organization this month is the Sunshine Mail Foundation, and I hope you can play along too. So let's get started. So I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to be using for my card. And also I wanted to use this, I had created this template, which is what I'm going to use for my cards that I'm going to send out. But I figured you might think I was cheating, so I went ahead and I'm going to be cutting one while I'm making my card. So I have my computer ready and I have my Cricut ready to cut it out. Alright, so here's what I'm going to use. I pulled out this stack of pattern paper. It's called Lime Twist. It's from My Mind's Eye, and I liked it because it's got lots of fun bright colors, and I like those clouds, are cute, and it also has stars, so I need to incorporate stars into my card, so I thought I could use these. I'm going to be using this stamp set from Papertrey Ink. It's called Signature Sentiments, and I'm going to be using the one that says "You Make Me Smile." I'm also going to be using the Hero Arts Shadow Ink and Butter Bar and this cloud die from Papertrey Ink. I'm also going to be using some of these punches. I pulled out a few star punches. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, but that's what I'm going to use, and some pattern some cardstock. Alright, so now we're ready to go, and I'm going to get my timer ready, no peeking. Set it for 10 minutes, or to count down to 10 minutes, and I'm going to put it somewhere where you and I can both see it. And got my paper ready and press go. Now I'm going to go ahead and press cut on my computer, and it's going to cut it on my Cricut. So while it's cutting, I'm going to get my card base ready and get as much as I can done, so when it's done cutting I can use it. So now I'm taking this half sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'm scoring it in half to make an A2 4.25 by 5.5 card. I'm folding it, making sure I have a nice crease. I'm going to be making a side fold card. Now I'm going to pull out the papers that I'm going to use, and I'm going through deciding on which one I want to use. And at this point my Cricut is done cutting, so I'm going to retrieve it. I'm going to pull off this little panel from the mat and remove any of the little pieces there. Looks good. So that's ready to go. Now I'm going to take, and I've decided I'm going to use this little cloud paper because I think it'll look really cute behind the sunshine rays, and I'm going to trim that to the size that I need so that it fits behind the little sunshine panel. I'm double checking to make sure that I have the 5.5 the long way, because I'm used to making tall cards. So I'm going to trim that little piece off the edge to make sure I have an accurate cut when I'm cutting, or measurement when I cut it. So I'm cutting this an 1/8 inch shorter than 5.5, and then I'm cutting it an 1/8 inch shorter than 4.25, so that it fits directly behind that little sunshine panel and it's not sticking out at the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere the little cloud panel to my card base. I'm going to take my ATG gun and add adhesive to all the edges. I love my ATG gun. So I'm going to center it so there's room for my top panel that I'm going to add on top. I want to go ahead and pop this up so that the sun is in front of all the little clouds. But first I'm going to die cut this little cloud from Shimmer White cardstock. I wanted to use glitter, but there's no glitter allowed for the cards that are going to this organization, but shimmer paper looks really nice. Now I pulled out my baby, my Hello Kitty Big Shot, and there's a little bit of room on my table so that you can see what I'm doing, so it's a little bit hard to cut or die cut with the room that I have on my table, but it works beautifully. And there it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and just move my beautiful Hello Kitty Big Shot to the side, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment on it. So I'm going to pull my stamp grid, my stamp press. This is Martha Stewart stamp press, and I really love it. This is the large one. That's the one I use most of the time, and I love it because it's got those little foam feet, so it gives me a minute of wiggle room before I commit to stamping it, so I can make sure I have great placement. So I inked it up really well, and then I'm pressing down on it, and there it is. And of course, it's exactly where I want it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my little sunshine template part, and I'm going to add some foam dots to the back so it can be popped up a bit from the main panel, the card base. So I have these little small foam squares that I'm adding all over and trying to place them so that there's no spaces left where the card is going to sag, because that's not good. Now I was getting a little concerned about having to peel all those off, but I went ahead and used both of my hands at different times, which I didn't even know I could do. But I guess, you know, pressure and time makes me find things that I didn't even know I could do. But there it is. So I think I got all of them, if not most of them. And now I'm centering them on my card to make sure that I don't have any pattern paper that's sticking out on the edges, but so that my card is centered. Now I'm going to take and put a foam square on the back of my little cloud. I'm using a bigger one, and I'm going to place it on my card. Now I need to incorporate those little stars, so I'm going to take some punches. One of my punches I'm going to punch out on this foil gold cardstock, and this is a really fun cardstock because it's very gold, I want to say, but at the same time it's got ridges in it, so it's got texture and color, so it's really nice. So now I'm going to take this other punch, and I just punched out all these little stars, and I'm placing them on the card, trying to figure out where I want them to go. So I'm arranging them and rearranging them, and I kind of like where I have them there. So they're all scattered all around. So now I want to adhere them to the card, and I'm using my glue pen, which I love. This is a two-way glue pen, and it's perfect when you're trying to get little tiny detailed dies or die cuts and add glue to them. It's permanent and repositionable, which is another reason to love this glue pen, and it lasts such a long time. Alright, there I go. So I was getting a little worried, but I decided that that's it. My card is done, and so you can see the little clouds that are peeking behind the card. And I'm going to stop my timer at 6 minutes 36 seconds, so that's good for me. If you would like a copy of this cut file, go ahead and download it from my blog. Enjoy! And here's the finished card. I like the way the little clouds are peeking through behind the sunshine, but I thought I had plenty of time, so I went back and I added some white stitching marks to my card, and I think that added exactly what it needed. So I did add the time that I used in adding those stitch marks, so it brought it to 8 minutes and 2 seconds, which is still under 10 minutes. Well, I hope you like this card, and thanks for peeking. Bye for now!